Today's horoscope from AstroCademy, Taurus October 11, 2024. Jupiter turns retrograde in your work and health sector today. During this 4-month retrograde cycle, enthusiasm for work projects and health endeavors is still in place, but you may begin to see areas of excess that require toning down and adjusting. While it can be discouraging at first, it's, in fact, a very good time for looking at these activities and plans from a different, more realistic, or moderate perspective. This retrograde cycle, lasting until February, can be a time for editing, reviewing, and researching. For the very best results, try not to take on more and instead focus on what you've already begun. It serves as a signal to temporarily avoid expanding. With today's transits, taking care of business or chores comes more naturally with a sense of purpose. You tend to go out of your way to support or help others today. Pour your energy into redesigning, renovating, and improving the work you do or into your efforts to improve health. A mighty shift is upon you. All planets besides our luminaries experience retrograde phases throughout the year. The outer planets, because they are so far from Earth, actually spend a significant chunk of the year in these sleepy phases. Gracious Jupiter, our great benefic, is now stationing retrograde over the coming days, which will slow down factors in regard to your solar house of employment. Luckily, this means that if you've been juggling a very hectic schedule, you could have more opportunities to date or for pleasure with your lover. Hop to it. What can you cut down on? Your work life has been go ever since Jupiter entered Gemini at the end of May 2024. It could be a lot to handle, especially when you consider your obligations. Thankfully, you have a chance to slow down and consider what you want in your work life when Jupiter stations retrograde in Gemini. Starting today, this retrograde will last until February. During this time, you can determine what you can handle in your routine and adjust your habits to meet the demands of your job without feeling overwhelmed. Satisfying your natural urges is just what the doctor ordered this week. That's right, you are in charge of this. Try to focus on what you really want and then on giving it to yourself. Whether it's a walk by the beach to think over personal matters or a frank chat with your boss. There are certain things that only you can provide. You sometimes sink into the habit of thinking that what you want most deeply is something or some emotion only others can give you. Wake up from this coma and begin nurturing yourself. Organized and pragmatic, you tend to refuse any opportunity to dream. You are currently trying to wrap up some big files and are neglecting your friends and family. You hate having to use your imagination and only savor moments that you entirely master. This should evolve rapidly, and the current vibrations will be strongly encouraging this. In terms of health, you should change the way you eat and get a little bit more exercise. The celestial activity today is notably dynamic, with cosmic alignments influencing both job and career aspects just as Jupiter embarks on its retrograde journey in your work sector. Concurrently, Venus and Mars enhance personal and professional connections, making it an auspicious day for building friendships and relationships. Amidst these significant developments, the Moon's routine monthly visit to Capricorn offers an opportunity every 4 weeks to engage more deeply with your emotions and intuition. Although this I appear less important compared to other events, the Moon arrives at a crucial time, assisting you in navigating Pluto's final days of retrograde motion in Capricorn. Whether it is the doors that Uranus is holding open to the past and second chances on the romantic front or the support for Mars and your relationships that is coming from Venus, the planet of love, making time for both is important and requires some compromise. As you move into a few days where your work and life balance might come under pressure, it is more important than ever to pay attention. Our eyes in the sky. Today is inviting you to pause, breathe deeply, and allow the natural flow of life to guide you. Sometimes, when we're caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, it can feel like we need to constantly push forward, but today's energy is reminding you to step back and let things unfold on their own. Have you ever experienced that feeling of relief when you decide to take a break and suddenly everything starts falling into place? That's exactly the kind of vibe today is offering. If something doesn't go as planned, resist the urge to blame yourself or feel like you need to take control. Instead, take it as a gentle nudge from the universe to let go. By pampering yourself a little and allowing things to flow naturally, you might just find that what you initially saw as a setback opens up new and unexpected doors. Have you ever noticed how, when you let go of trying to control every little detail, new opportunities seem to come out of nowhere? Sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is step back and give space for things to develop on their own. During this period, it's especially important not to fall into the trap of competition or seeing others' tie-ins as challenges. Whether it's in your personal life, at work, or in a relationship, interpreting everything as a battle can create unnecessary tension. Have you ever found yourself getting worked up over something minor, only to realize later it wasn't that serious? Today is a good day to keep things light, avoid overthinking, and stay clear of power struggles. If you're feeling emotionally drained or pulled in too many directions, it's okay to step back. Spend some time alone, recharge, and allow yourself the space to regain clarity. Solitude isn't a retreat, it's a way to center yourself. If you've been feeling doubtful or uncertain about something in your life, know that these feelings are temporary. Maybe you're struggling to make a decision or you're unsure of the next step. That's okay. Sometimes we need time to let our thoughts settle. Have you ever had one of those aha moments where everything suddenly becomes crystal clear after days of confusion? That moment of clarity is coming for you. Trust that, with time, the answers will reveal themselves, and you'll feel confident moving forward. What's important is to give yourself permission to be in this moment of uncertainty without rushing to find a solution. The beauty of today's energy is that it's not just limited to romantic relationships, it's a time to nurture all of your connections. Friendships, family bonds, and even your relationship with yourself can be strengthened. Have you been meaning to reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while? Or maybe today's a good day to spend some quality time with those who mean the most to you. Relationships thrive when we show up with an open heart, ready to connect deeply and authentically. Take a moment to reflect on a relationship in your life that could use a little extra love today. How can you nurture that bond? Even something as simple as sending a text to check in or scheduling a catch-up call can go a long way in keeping those connections alive and thriving. As the day moves forward, you'll notice a shift in the energy around you. The moon is aligning with expansive Jupiter, bringing a wave of optimism, lightness, and a sense of limitless possibility. It's like the weight of the earlier part of the day lifts, and in its place, you're left with a joyful, hopeful vibe. Have you ever noticed how, when you're in a great mood, it seems to spread to everyone around you? It's like your happiness becomes contagious, and soon enough, everyone is smiling too. That's the energy you'll be radiating today. People will be naturally drawn to your laid-back and relaxed vibe, and you'll find that your positivity uplifts everyone in your space.